into it. Hey,
Yeah, we're live.
right on.
Live
right
tonight.
On. Hello to all of our live viewers tonight. It's been a minute. We're live on all of our platforms. So thanks for taking the time for being here. And then for those of you that are listening to the recording, it is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, it's going to be. Yeah.
It's going to be when this airs. So for our live viewers,
What day is St. Patrick's Day?
Monday, March 17th.
March 17th. Okay.
Yeah. And like our podcast airs every week on Mondays. And if you are an avid listener, longtime listener for our 17 episodes now, you'll know that we actually generally launch on Sundays. Secretly. We secret launch every Sunday.
Sneak one in under the wire
Sneaker
there.
in there.
I have no St. Patty Day plans.
Well, good for me because
I think that's
do.
like most
Oh.
39-year-olds, though.
I thought you were going to say like discussions. I have lots here.
I'm just here to chat.
Okay, well,
You're going to pressure me into your notes there.
Okay, just to start this podcast off, we'll get into lots of stuff later. But I was like, I had some questions in my head about St. Patty's Day. It always sneaks up on me, and I'm like, why am I celebrating this? Why is this a celebration?
I think it's just an excuse to drink, isn't it?
Well, listen to this. This is what I found out.
Oh, no.
I got
Don't.
Just listen.
I don't. Okay.
These are fun facts, okay?
Oh, these are the
This is
worst facts.
fun facts.
Okay, I'll tell.
Teacher Kyla's here.
Let's see when one is fun.
Fun fact. Okay, but here's the thing. I was like, what are some fun facts, right? And then, and also I'm like, why are we celebrating this day? Why is it so special? And those are the questions that came in my head. So I looked it up. Then I had more questions. But okay, we'll get into that in a second.
No, tell us more about your questions.
Okay. St. Patrick was actually not Irish. Did you guys know that? He was born in Britain.
Oh, okay.
He was kidnapped and taken to Ireland as a slave before he eventually became a priest to bring Christianity to the country. So then my brain goes, what was he a slave for?
Farming, usually, isn't that the
Okay,
slave
so he was kidnapped.
trade?
He was kidnapped. St. Patrick was kidnapped by Irish pirates at the age of 16. This British kid went on to become a saint. He was kidnapped.
Aw.
16, taken to Ireland, where he was enslaved as a shepherd.
So did he get, while he was there, maybe
He spent
turned in Irish? Turned
turned into Irish, turned into a leprechaun. No, he spent 6 years tending
Were
sheep.
you just saying everyone from Irish is a leprechaun?
What? No. What?
Go ahead.
We're talking about St. Patrick's Day and why it is and why it's a celebration and where my brain goes when I ask why. I'm like that kid that's like, why? But why? But why? So he was living in isolation as a enslaved. I don't know. I would like tending to sheep. I love animals. Anyways,
This
he's
is a real hot take. So Kyla is not a slavery
no.
advocate.
Keep it with you.
You wouldn't mind it, is what you just
No.
said.
I said I wouldn't mind.
No, I heard you loud and clear.
I wouldn't mind tending to sheep. How was?
Okay, as I always like to say, don't hear what you're not saying.
Yeah.
Is that you would like to be a shepherd.
Yeah. But this is saying
Have you ever been around sheep before?
He was-
'Cause I've been on sheep farms. They're the worst animal.
Are you serious?
They're crazy. They're so stupid.
I thought pigs were bad.
They're pig adjacent. Yeah.
But little lambs are like so freaking cute.
Actually, they can be quite like soft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
guess
can,
you
like-
get that side of it.
They're soft. You can train puppies to move them. So you get puppies and sheep. It's a double duo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think
I'm
they're
just
called
like
dogs by that point.
to be kidnapped
And become a shepherd.
and become a shepherd. It doesn't say slavery to me. But I guess
this is
there's more to-
anyone listening to this, because we are live. She means well, and
do.
deep in her heart,
It's just confusing, okay?
she's just confused.
I
I'm
am.
looking directly at the camera.
I am confused.
This is the hottest take to come out of Beyond Brave. I thought I was gonna get us canceled.
No, I'm not.
Here's Kyla saying, slavery
I am
doesn't
not.
sound all that bad.
I'm talking about shepherding. Shepherding.
I
and
mean, if you had
tending to sheep.
okay, well,
Like maybe
anyways.
this is lies. Like maybe he was kidnapped and enslaved for something else. But apparently he was living in isolation before escaping back to Britain. Later he returned to Ireland as a missionary to spread Christianity.
Well, that's wonderful. To go
Okay.
back to the place that he was,
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of shipped off to. That's quite something. Okay.
Yeah.
So when does the fun fact happen? Because so
original
far
color-
we've covered
Okay.
slavery.
I was just trying to figure out who St. Patrick was and why he is not actually Irish and why he was kidnapped. And those are all the things that came into question when I was like, who's St. Patrick? Then also, a part of this St. Patty's Day facade, the original color was not associated. It was not green. It was blue. St. Patrick was blue, not green. Green became popular due to Ireland's nickname, the Emerald Isle.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked into that and I'm like, what? What does this original color mean? And it was associated with St. Patrick blue because it was used in early Irish heraldry and royal symbols. King Henry, the V111, what is that? 5.
This is great content.
Denny's probably like falling asleep in the background.
Our producer. Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So the Order of St. Patrick was established in 1783 and it used a sky blue shade, okay? St. Patrick's blue. The only reason why green came into association is because it was nicknamed the Emerald Isle. And then things turned green.
Clovers are green.
Well, yeah, but that was later. See?
Okay.
So, like, there's so many weird things about St. Patrick's Day. Oh, and then I was like, okay, more into like something interesting is the Chicago River has been dyed green every St. Patrick's Day since 1962.
Mm-hmm.
The dye lasts about
Great
5
city.
hours.
Been there a few times.
Yeah, been to Chicago.
Enjoyed that.
And then the first thing that comes to my brain, the wildlife. What is that? What kind of dye is that? What is that doing to the fish and the animals? And so I was just like,
for the one day.
Well, okay. So then I looked into that too because I
We
needed
put dye
to.
in our body every day.
I do not. You were the one that was like, "Don't eat the red M&Ms" one day out of the blue, or should I say out
I
of the
must
green?
have. I was probably reading it on my phone. That went gone.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, I looked into it. The dye used to turn Chicago River green is environmentally safe and non-toxic. It's the exact.
I mean, if you're gonna dye water a color, you can dye it like blue, and then the second least harmful would be green.
It's true.
It's not like they're dyeing it.
Apparently, it's like vegetable-based powder, oil-based dye. Originally, they used oil-based dye, which was harmful in 1966, and they switched after to an eco-friendly version.
I bet you though, those years when they used the good shit, it was as green as shit.
It's like neon, like
It
chemical
really gets
green.
you in the St. Patrick's spirit.
It does.
Whoa.
When it shouldn't even be green.
Grass
It's supposed to be
green.
blue. St. Patrick's color was blue. Anyways, that was my interesting. So I was like,
Is that why you're wearing blue for St. Patrick's Day today, or the day it
I
airs?
didn't even realize. This is my Kai surf sweater. I love it. They were actually it's a surf company, like merch company, and the girls that created this were actually, Bella was like the first ambassador for them.
Mm-hmm.
She was the Kai surf ambassador for them.
Yeah,
No, that was
Actually,
Shop Fanatics.
and they gave me a green T-shirt.
And
And it was really cool.
Yes, yeah.
And now you're wearing them in support of St. Patty's Day.
No,
Blue.
This is a coincidence. It's a coincidence. Okay, my one fun thing that I got from all this before I went down my St. Patrick's Day hole was a fun question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, if you get to rename St. Patrick's Day after yourself, what's it called and how do people celebrate?
Well, it'd be St. Lyle's Day,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I hesitate to call myself a saint. Maybe saint adjacent.
Okay.
Okay. And what was the other part?
So you call your day Sal, Saint Adjacent Lyle Day. Salad. Saint Adjacent Lyle
But that would mean that
Awesome
okay, so
day.
you're taking the
acronym. Salad.
acronym, but we don't do that for Saint. We don't call it Espud Day.
Saint P Day.
We don't do
Saint
that.
Pat-
For
I'm
that.
sorry.
Why would we do it for that?
My brain is going off on tangent. Okay, so
Okay,
Saint Lyle Day.
And what would I do on that?
Yeah, how would you celebrate it?
I would do it the exact same way I celebrate St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. Beers and green?
Yeah, drink a lot,
Is your favorite color
party.
green?
Probably the same way I celebrate every holiday.
Drinking party. Drink, party, drink.
Yeah, it would go down the same way as every other holiday.
If I had to name a day after me, and it would be.
What holiday would you?
Thanks for asking, Lyle. So nice of you to ask. I would.
So you'd only ask me that question so that you could talk about what you would do.
No, I had no intent. I'm thinking of it on the spot right now. And the first thing that came to my head was.
So funny.
No,
Go ahead.
First thing that came to my head would be I would call it Kyla's Crazy Day. And you-
Okay, so it's like a Monday then. All right.
I mean, Kyla's crazy day. And it would be, I would make people celebrate to do the craziest thing they've ever wanted to do.
This is off the top of your head.
Yeah, it is off the top of my head.
I would tell,
Just
right?
it's like a go crazy day. Like
You never seen that movie, the one where everyone gets to do whatever they want one day a year? That's
was
what
that
you're.
Purge?
This is you've just created on the Kyla's
Purge?
Day is the purge.
No.
That is. What do you mean? Everyone gets to do the craziest shit they can think of.
That's horrible. No, I mean
So
like
this is
I mean,
your
like-
idea?
I mean you get the day off to do like whatever you want. Like go skydiving, go to a beach, fly to Paris, something crazy.
I mean, we saw the purge.
Not murder people. That's
I mean,
not what I mean. Okay, that was a good laugh. That was a good one. All right.
fun facts, honey.
Fun facts. Thank you. Thank you for that. Now that we're all questioning St. Patrick's Day.
How many
which-
times do you need to shuffle two pieces of paper? The noise.
makes me feel teacher.
Sorry, we haven't been live and we haven't
Yeah,
been
guys.
just one-on-one in a while.
We
This
are
is nice.
rusty. We're oh
One-on-one. Rusty. What do you mean?
we're a little rusty. Well, I don't know, cause yeah, we're. Hey, you had some life updates. You're like, let's talk about what we've been watching. I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do
the big life updates. Really into Severance. What a killer show. But
Yeah.
we watched that when it first came out, season 1.
Yeah, we're all caught up. For people that are caught up with
Oh, man,
Severance.
do you know there's like a 2 to I think it's 2 years between seasons.
Ugh.
That damn show.
Okay, what I've been most interested in is you've been telling me that you've been
I get reels fed to me every night
like
of
theories.
fan theories, and it's all about the tempers, the 4 tempers in the TV, like Severance on Apple TV.
What do you mean tempers? There's people.
No. But remember the guy that created it all? He says the essence of every person is 4 different tempers. It's like
I miss that. I'm just trying to
that-
figure out
and the
how.
4 tempers are the 4 buckets they're like putting the
What?
words into. Hmm
Okay, we don't know what
And
the
they're like- I
strange
think
and
they're-
mysterious work is, right? What do they call it? The important, the
Work is
important
mys-
and mysterious work.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could care less about that. I want to know
This is
how.
the most important part.
Okay, but just give me a minute. We'll
Mm.
get back to it. Okay, what's his name's wife? What's the main guy again?
Yeah.
The main
Mark?
guy. Mark. Mark's wife.
Kid.
She
can't
was
remember.
involved with Severance before he was, and I want to know how the car accident, how she got involved with Lumen before he
If
did.
you haven't seen the show yet, just spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I mean,
Oopsies.
oh, I don't care at
It's
this
fine.
point. Like,
It's,
what
it's
do
okay.
you?
It's okay. All right.
But
All
you
right.
could have said, yeah, warning.
Anyways, okay, so
I could have. That's
I'm
on me.
totally missing the 4 whatevers you were just talking
Well, the
about.
4 buckets, the temper, what they put the words into the buckets.
It's numbers.
No. They're labeled the 4 different tempers.
On the
And
bottom
so what
of the
they
screen.
think is like they're trying to map the human condition or something like that.
But when they're all sitting at their computers and they're based on feeling, putting
Yeah. How do these numbers make you
groups
feel?
of numbers,
And
make
it'll
you
be
feel?
one of the 4 different tempers is how they're making them feel. And they're like mapping their minds.
How do you get a feeling from a group of numbers? I can look at a group of 5s the same way I look at a group of 4s.
The work is mysterious and important.
Ugh. I
There's like 3 people that like that.
hope there's lots of people. Okay, let us know, you guys, if you want more like TV series like Severance chats. Like we're up for it because we're like into. What else are we into? Severance, and we recently
The
got
House
in
of David
The House of David.
on Amazon, which is Amazon's biggest
good.
show, I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it crossed my feed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm loving it. It's really, really, really good. It's really
Yeah.
well done. Really well done. We don't have Netflix right now, so I'm a little peeved because I can't watch my Selling Sunset or the dating show, the Pods dating show.
I don't. Okay,
Can't
so
remember
so we have Amazon, we have Apple.
Can someone tell my
we have
husband it's
Disney.
okay to have more than one network?
It is okay. It's easy. It's okay to have more than one.
You only got Disney
We'll put
'cause
2.
there
We'll
was
put
like
3.
there's like a 3-month free trial. That's it. And so we can only have Disney right now. And Amazon, we're like
How much
stuck
TV
with.
do you need? Once we are done Severance,
I
we'll
need my
cancel
Netflix.
Apple, and we'll migrate over to Netflix.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching my shows 5 months later than everybody already has.
Everyone listening's just like, man, this Lyle.
Yeah.
He does sound like a real pain.
Yeah.
Sneaky
guys-
voice coming in.
Ooh, ooh, voice
Sneaky
from
voice
above.
in.
Tell us.
Lori Herder says, movie is Yes Day with Jennifer Garner. You totally need a Yes Day, Kyle and Lila. Or no, Lyle and Kyla. That was on me. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Daddy.
Do you know what's crazy that you mentioned that is Bella absolutely loved that show. She watched Yes Day over and over. She probably watched it 5 times. She loved Yes Day.
That's cool.
Oh, I love that you brought that up. That's so sweet. Yeah, I need a Yes Day.
We kind of would do those once in a while. Remember what? Because I never really watched it, but I remember when she'd mention it,
Oh
and
yeah.
we would like, it would last for an hour.
Oh yeah. We'd have to say yes to everything. you
Yeah.
mentioned.
It
Yeah.
was okay.
Yeah.
Then we'd all forget about it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then you just hit them with a bunch of no's.
yeah. I have a gup date.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I have a gup date.
Yeah, what's going on
I
with the
haven't-
fish? I live
Yeah.
right beside all of them. I don't think I've looked in the tanks once
So our
in the
last
last month.
on our last like chat,
Yeah, yeah.
we named them and I had 6 babies. Then since then, the adult tank, I have 4 adults, they birthed 2 more babies. And so one day I was just looking at the tank, checking on my adult fish, and then there was 2 swimming around in there. And I'm like, holy crap. So I took them out with like a little like shot glass and I put them in the baby tank and they'd be doing great. So I actually have 8 baby guppies now. I forget all of their names. They're all named after French fries, but we talked about that in a previous episode.
Right.
So I have 8 baby guppies,
And how many adults?
4 adults.
What are we going to do with all of them?
I mean, what am I going to do, you guys? What if this doesn't stop?
Is this your new business?
I don't know. Do you guys have suggestions? Like anybody on the live right now have suggestions? What do I do? I
How
start
much
selling
does
them?
how much does a baby guppy?
I don't know. The
Well,
ones...
you had them given to you, so you should just do like a pay
What-
it forward type situation.
No, I bought them. I bought 3.
Oh.
I bought 3 for like $10.
Oh man, this
How
is
much-
a real money making venture we got on our hands.
Right? I know. I mean,
For
if I get
10.
a big tank,
So you're telling me there's $20 of fish floating around
we
there
got
right
20
now?
bucks, baby, in the bank. In the bank.
What are we doing the
If
podcast
I
for?
sold 8, if I sold all 8 of my babies,
Yeah.
I could make room for more babies. And what's 8? What's 8 times 24
I
bucks?
don't think anyone wants a baby though. Well, it's kind of like getting a puppy. You do want.
Cute. They're really cute, and they're big enough now. They're probably like
You can transfer them.
2 centimeters long now.
Hmm.
I can transfer
I'll
them
have
now.
to poke over there and
Yeah, poke on over
that
there.
corner of the room and
Come
see
over
what's going on.
that
in
corner of the
fish-
living room.
See what's going on in that fish tank.
Oh, I had a
I
fun.
have zero interest in fish.
I know.
By the way,
I'm forced into it now. All of these babies appeared, and now I have to mother them. Oh, you
although I
guys.
have fed them before.
Yeah, you fed them.
I don't think I've glanced in there to see how they're doing. Though
They're freaking cute.
it could be rotten in that tank, and
It is. I gotta clean it right now. I don't know how, but the baby tank is worse than the adult tank. But the adult tank has way more poop in it.
Mhm.
But it's a cleaner tank. I don't know. My filter must be faulty in the baby tank. Anyways, they're doing great. They're all still alive and growing.
We need like a breaking news sort of segment.
Ding,
when
ding,
you
ding,
get
ding, 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 ding.
in.
Voice from above again. I can't let this one go.
Yeah,
Okay.
Daddy.
Megan Dixon says, forget the puppy mill. You got yourself a guppy mill.
Oh,
guppy mill.
Guppy mill. A guppy mill.
I like how it's like kind of like puppy mills are kind of shady. And so you're running a shady guppy mill.
Shady backyard.
You got like thousands in like one little cup. That's what they live on. Just this little thing.
Oh.
I'm all into that.
Oh, yeah,
I care
yeah. Sell 'em.
zero.
I should
So
sell them for like $20 a pop.
who would buy it? Who would buy them?
I don't know.
No
Give me a
one's buying-
reason. Give me
you
a
said,
reason.
You said 10 was 3 for 10.
The water they're in has been blessed by the Pope. I don't know.
That's
I don't know
not.
what it is.
Oh my
That's,
goodness.
that's terrible. I'm going to left field.
What else you got on that piece of paper
Okay.
there, Kyle?
Okay. Fun question from Instagram.
hmm
Best cook in the house. Settle the debate. Who actually makes the best meals?
Why is there a debate? There
People
can't
want to
be a
know.
debate.
People want to know who's the better cook.
Well, I think we both know.
This is the question of the masses.
I would know. That can't be.
I don't know. It was on my Instagram. I
What
take
would've
every
brought that
question
up?
seriously. I said, "What do you guys want to know?" Someone said, "Who's the best
Who
cook?"
can cook better? Have you? I will grant that you're the better baker because I've never really baked
Yeah, you're
before.
not a baker, but I will go back to
I don't like following instructions. Definitely
you.
don't.
You are
And
really
baking is essential to follow. It's like a science experiment. While cooking is like an art.
See, I have improved. You were a really good off the cuff cook. I have improved. I have gone from College Kyla. This is Lyle's nickname for me, College Kyla. You know, like Ichiban, dry Ichiban, not cooked Ichiban, like all the things.
Just straight out of the bag.
KD out of the pot.
Do you throw the salt in? Remember in school you throw the salt in the Ichiban bag?
Yeah, that was my lunch.
Kind
And I'd crush it with my heel, and
No
shake it
way.
up, and then I'd crack open a corner of the bag and like eat it like this.
of do that again.
No, I'm not doing that again. That motion, sorry.
You
For,
did
all,
like this.
for those that are not watching, I did a really awkward motion there with my hand.
It was awkward, unfortunately.
Okay, so when Bella and I first went into the Ronald McDonald House when she was in hospital for the like first 2 years straight, they had so they're cooking. This is in the Calgary house. They're cooking homemade meals. They had the home for dinner program in that house. They still do. And there'd be churches that would come once a month. There'd be local businesses, high-end restaurants. The cooks would come and volunteer their time and make these meals. Then they also had some of these cooks leave the recipes for the parents, or they'd have like cooking classes. And when we got home after those stays, I really did a great like improvement of my cooking skills, all from living in the Ronald McDonald House. And then when I got home with Bella, she wasn't in school yet, so I had lots of time during the day just like to be with her, but then also lots of time to cook too. And so I really improved my cooking skills after that, I think. That's what you told me anyways too. And I kind of went from there. But I'm a recipe follower. With baking. With cooking, I like to do things much more homemade now and make meals, but yeah, what do you have to say about that?
I'm just wondering what meals. Like what? Like give
What
me
do you
an
mean,
example.
what meals?
No, I'm just asking.
I made you are back to who's the better cook. We could go on for a while. Side dishes, me. Main dishes, you. Like meats. Like you're really good with like you know how to sous vide,
Barbecue. I don't know.
pan fry.
So what was the question again?
Oh, you're just
Who's the
waiting
better
for me
cook?
to say you're the better cook.
No, I wasn't.
You're the better cook.
Pardon?
There, I said it. It's Lyle. Everybody.
I think just out of necessity. Like actually, well,
I've done good.
for the past 10 years.
From my
it was-
college Kyla
It's
days.
just kind of like you had your hands full with a lot of things that
Yeah.
were obviously priority.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we'll cook. And I've always enjoyed it. It's kind of the way I express myself.
Yeah, you like it. You really like it. When I'm cooking, I'm like, everybody get out of the kitchen.
The beautiful part is that you can kind of drink and cook at the same time and have your own little party.
Okay, when I was making, you went into town today, I was making the pasta salad for supper tonight, and I like blasted the music on this speaker and was just like grooving and like cooking. I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the
loved it.
cooking vibe.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad, right?
Yeah, it was great. I have a mental health minute that I wanted to get into with you guys.
All right. Well,
So
I'll
just-
start the timer.
Getting,
What you said, 1 minute, right?
no, I just said it because it sounded good, not actually a minute.
The mental health half hour.
Mental health minute.
No,
Okay.
I'm not kidding. That's no joke, but yeah.
Okay, well, we haven't been to our grief counseling lately. So
No.
this is still something I have been using since our last session. And it's kind of interesting because it's like
Which is important to think about. Maybe that's something I've been missing
we've been a little bit further from our normal routine with that. Yeah.
because I've had some really difficult days.
Yeah.
Last couple.
And I thought maybe
and
my
that kind of drives my. Maybe that's something that I should think about.
yeah,
Okay.
that we need to get back into that routine with
Yeah.
our grief therapist. I've been utilizing some tools that he gave us, but also
And I've not.
and
I'm
you-
all ears now. Give me
Okay.
more than a minute.
Are
here.
you
I'm
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought this would help you for sure.
Aw.
So I realized
you.
I was doing this. So basically, we had this chat in our previous podcast too, where we had this, like in the simplest form, start journaling, start writing it down. Remember when I talked about that? You write it down and then you do with it what you want after, but at least you're getting it out on paper. You could burn it, you could crumple up, throw in the garbage. Remember that? Okay, so I'm calling this, this was like, I'm calling it a brain dump. It's the brain dump method, but it's crazy. I was doing this in a certain way, kind of a mix from what our therapist had said. So I just I'll give you the whole like from start to finish in a minute. But then I listened to a Mel Robbins podcast, and I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with Mel Robbins. She has a podcast, and she is the creator of the Let Them theory. She has a book about it, and the Let Them theory is really powerful for people battling stress. Where the Let Them theory is like all these things that are stressing you out because you're not in control, and it's ways to just let them, not necessarily let go, but just like, petty things that you really don't need to worry about. Just let it happen. Let them, right? Not like specific things.
You know, like they can go let them.
Like someone's
They can go F themselves. Let them.
kind of, yeah, yeah. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
That's not groundbreaking research.
no, but it's like the way I'm not doing a good job right now, but the way she
know.
explains it is much, much better. But
Yeah.
it's funny because I was doing this brain dump method, and then I was listening to one of her podcasts like yesterday, and she goes on in one of her recent podcasts to explain the whole brain dumping method in like detail, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing that. Oh, I'm a genius.
Yeah.
And so anyways, so
You
here's
should wrote like, hey bitch, I came up with this.
no. No. But see, so okay, so my realization was that this is a mental health tool, that it goes a little bit further than journaling. And I've been putting it into practice lately. It's really been helping me because I've had a lot of things that have been making my mind race, causing me not to sleep, causing me internal turmoil and stress. And when
The worst part about it is a lot of it was not even to do with Belle.
No, there is one part that had to do with Belle, and there's a lot of parts that haven't been.
Yeah.
But
And that's where the let them kind of comes in. Hey,
the let them comes into that. But
sorry, I
also,
sidetracked you.
no, that's totally fine. But the brain dump is the switch that went off for me is when I'm sitting there restless at night or restless in wherever I am, and this is cycling through my head and I can't get it out. I stop and I just grab a piece of paper and I start writing. I don't know if you noticed me doing that the last couple of nights and today, but I grab my notebook. I have my brain dump notebook and I write it all out. And a lot of it is stuff I don't want to forget, or I'm thinking about it in my head like, oh, I should have said that, or oh, I should have thought that, or I should have remembered this. And it's like, instead of it just cycling in my head, I have it down on paper. Once it's physically down on paper, I can forget it. I can let it go.
Not even like it just happens once you've written it down.
It's just there. And it's like, if I want to remember it, great. If I want to rip it up and throw it out, also great. But I've dumped.
Have you?
I've done.
You've dumped.
I've dumped. I've done the number 2 all over the paper.
Oh,
That
no.
took a turn. Okay, but like the real light bulb for me was like, it's like trapped in my head, and that's causing me the stress, and that's causing me the anguish.
Mm-hmm.
And I just get it on paper, and it's out, and then I can do with it what I want. And
Right.
that just actually physically doing that is something that I didn't realize as such a release.
Yeah.
And for some reason, for me, typing it isn't.
Well, there's other part to it, and
Writing
I
it
was
is
thinking
best.
about when you said writing it down. It's
Yeah.
I get so damn sick of being on my phone, and then you think, oh,
Yeah.
I just instinctively think, oh, I can write this down, and I grab my. I'm like, that's the last thing I want to grab right now is
Yeah.
my phone while I'm kind of like spiraling,
Yep.
and then
There's
so it's just like, why would I not just grab a piece of paper? It's way more therapeutic to do it that
so
way.
therapeutic. And you know
Right.
what I did? I grabbed, like, you have my jar of like pens. I have like a jar of like 20 pens. It's all like really nice pens, all different colors. It's therapeutic to not only write it down, but draw a little circle, or draw a little flower, or highlight a certain part, or use a different color of pen. It's just therapeutic. But in general,
Mhm.
just grabbing a pen and writing it down is a different way of just getting it out, so it's not circling and cycling in your head over and over and over again and keeping
Right.
you up. The part about Bella that I've been really struggling with, and where I need to definitely discuss this with our grief therapist the next time we're in, the most that I've been struggling with. And it's kind of interesting how it came to me to be able to explain it, because I had someone ask me the other day, like, how are you doing? Like, and it wasn't just how are you doing, but it was something along the lines of like, how are you today? Or like, how has this week been for you?
Mhm.
kind of thing, like in reference to my grief. And I said, some weeks are just like the week that I lost her, overly painful. I'm crying and begging for signs. And I wrote that down in my brain dump. And what's been happening is some weeks I'm feeling strong and I'm feeling able to do things and inspired. And then some weeks are exactly the same as that week we lost her in terms of like pain level and coping level.
That's crazy that you say that, because it's just this, and I was honestly feeling the exact, I've, it's like you said, have I noticed you writing this like in the last couple days in the notes? I've been like, no, I haven't noticed at all, because I have totally been my own little world this entire week,
Like a funk.
like an absolute funk. It feels like the day she died, like
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
this week. And it's crazy, because now and I'm like, well, what happened? Because last week I was kind of killing it. Like there was lots going
Yeah.
on and I was getting lots of shit done. And this week, like, and like today, I just had to completely pull myself up, just even go change the oil in some of my equipment,
Yeah.
like get ready for spring a little bit, and just try to get something done in between,
Yeah.
like literally crying and
Yeah.
just not wanting to move and just being shell shocked. And it's, but and I don't, it's weird now. Now it's week to week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe that's the path of grief where it's like, okay, well, you know, in a few months maybe you'll have great months, and then you'll have down months, and then it's surprising. And for you to just to be sitting here and saying
Yeah.
that, you know, it's weeks now, it's not day to day, it's week to week. And I think a lot of that as well. I have, you know, I'm returning back to my normal work April 1st, and that's weighing on me. And how is that transition going to occur? And it's just one more step to moving on, which I hate
Yeah.
that word and that idea. I guess that phrase. It's like, well, maybe
Because we're not
I'm
moving
not.
on. We're
I'm
still
just
moving
moving.
through.
I'm just. Yeah, you say moving through it. Maybe moving forward. I don't know, or moving with Bella forward. I don't know, but like in my head, all I'm saying, like, it's moving on, and just like hits me rock bottom. I know I've been off work for 6 months now. I'm so glad that, you know, my work gave me those 6 months. I'm sure they would give me more if I needed it, but there's also a point where you have to start making some steps to move forward.
Yeah.
To okay, maybe part of it is I just need to kind of stop. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a complete train wreck.
Well, stay
I'm
tuned.
very excited to find out.
Stay tuned for the podcast coming after April. You'll find out.
April's pod-
We'll have an update.
Well, because I start work and then tree season comes in so I have all
Yeah.
my tree sales and shipments and growing, and it'll be
Well,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a big shift, but we're building our tools. Like you know, we're gonna focus more on
I'm super nervous
your s-
about it all.
I'm like, it's okay. I will help you.
You're gonna have to figure out how to run a podcast and just drag me in when
Yeah,
you need
see,
me to.
I'm nervous, guys. Like, I'm gonna have to set all this stuff up. Denny's gonna be at work. You're gonna be at work. I'm gonna be all home alone in my little basement in the computer, and it's gonna be me and you guys.
I'm nervous for you too, because going away to work, it's a sudden shift for you as well. Going from, you know, us having each other all day every day to being
Being
a little
bit more separated.
mousy home
Yeah.
thing. We'll see what happens.
Yep. I was gonna say earlier, what I've been struggling the most with in terms of like just the dread that's been cycling in my head, and I don't know if brain dumping on paper is going to be enough for this. I definitely want to get back in to see our grief therapist and ask his input and support for this, but it's been the most hard not sleeping at night, because what goes through my head constantly over and over again is the final moments we had with Bella before she was intubated. It goes over and over in my head, and it cycles over and over again, and I can't sleep. And it's like everything we did before that moment, and then not knowing that that was going to be the last moment I would talk to her.
And this was a week before, basically 1 week before she died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just been horribly cycling through my mind and causing me to not sleep. And it's strange because in terms of stress and anxiety, and I've been on sertraline, like that anti-anxiety med, for years now, and I've actually been able to come down on my dose. I'm not having the panic attacks and anxiety attacks. And I mean, we got all that great information from Anxiety Josh, and he has been a huge part of that journey for me and helping me get over that.
And he was in episode 8, something like that.
Oh, I can't remember. Yeah,
It was great.
He's just been amazing, and I've listened to him for years and years and years. And so my goal has been to come off of this anxiety medication. It's just strange how that can be a win at the same time as so many other things going on or feel like losses to me.
Why is it safe to set that as a goal? I mean, if it's helping you?
Well, there's lots of other things that being on like these
Seems unnecessary to push yourself like that.
Well, I mean, I'm also like a 42-year-old woman in perimenopause, and it's like there's lots of things that my body doesn't need more of right now, like medications that cause issue with my bowels and stuff like that, which this medication does. And it's like,
Sure.
I don't want more physical stress from something that I know I could eventually come off of,
Right.
But no, you definitely take advice from your pharmacist and your doctor, and there's certain ways you can wean yourself off these medications. I'm just really happy that I've gone to a lower dose. That's just great for me. It's working for me. It's doing amazing things for me. But there's always that part of me that's like, I didn't need this at one point, and could I get back there? Could I give myself enough of the tools to not need this medication?
I mean, it's arguable if you didn't need it.
That's true. That is very arguable. Both my doctor and my pharmacist were completely shocked that I was not on it for probably 3 years earlier than I should have. Like I should have been on it sooner than I was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I didn't know it existed, right? Like I didn't know it was there. I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Need to break in here real quick, Kyla.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Something that I think is very important that one of your followers mentioned. Lovely lady of Elm Street said, "Grief isn't linear."
Yes.
No, it certainly isn't.
It is not. That is very important to remember. It is not linear. It's hard for people when you're in it to explain that, because the whole world outside of you is like, death of a loved one, grieve, go back to your job, go back to being normal, go back to doing these things. And meanwhile, you're just like, wait a minute.
I wouldn't expect that out of anyone.
No, but that can look like the linear path that
Right.
people are like, no, wait a minute. It's not linear like that.
It's kind of like the stock market, I guess, because like it goes up and down and up and down, up and down constantly, but slowly over time you should,
It's like
creep up and
It's
up
like
and
you
up.
got a yo-yo and you're on an escalator.
Oh, you heard that analogy.
I heard that analogy.
Yeah.
I was listening to your little. What do you?
Have you seen the stock markets lately?
You're playing to
It's
your.
at the bottom of the escalator.
Anyway, we don't want to talk about that.
It's a mess.
The yo-yo string got stuck in the escalator, and that's where the stocks are.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all feeling the pain. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What else you got on your cheat sheet there? Are we almost wrapping it up here?
Well, I'm not allowed to go on to my third page, am I?
Oh man.
This is going to turn into our next week's. Whatever we don't cover in this week, we'll go on into next week.
Not that I'm not having a good time.
No, it's good. I got I wrote down all the questions from Instagram.
Yeah.
Question box I had. And the most asked.
I told Kyle, I'm like, just because you write it down doesn't mean it has to happen. Like in
I'll put little X's and check marks beside the ones we cover, and then I'll save them for the next one.
or we just move on.
And this podcast is not ending. We have more to record later.
You could star things that happen. Like we might be covering Valentine's Day next week with the amount of things that we've starred in.
Valentine's 2026. Kyla's plan.
Yeah.
No, but it's also like 10:30 for Denny right now, so we can't do a double podcast recording. We got to wait and do another one later. So
I don't like doing doubles because
No.
it doesn't
It's too
feel
much.
fresh. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't feel fresh. Okay, we had a large inquiry that people would love to hear about when we talk on our podcast is the funniest Bella memories.
Oh my goodness.
And
You could have like warned me with this. I got to think about this.
okay, so you think, well, I mentioned a couple. I got a lot written down. What's a story that never fails to make us laugh? I wrote down,
I've been bringing up a lot lately, just out of the blue. I've been noticing.
I think
of
I have 5 here.
fun little things, but I just can't remember them right now.
Oh, I got lots. Maybe they'll spark some for
Seems
you.
like every day something gets sparked. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I love.
My phone just gave me a warning. Time to stand.
Time to stand.
Shut up, Apple.
Is there a way to change that on the Apple Watches? Like,
I'm doing a pod.
it would also be a lot
And
funnier
it's
if it was
10
like.
p.m. You think I'm gonna be standing up?
It'd be funnier if instead of it was like time to stand, to be Siri, you'd be like, get up, B. Something like that. You know, you could change it. Okay, back to funny Bella memories. Bella would always call you out on things and never forget. And her comedic timing was the best. And in brackets, I put your dumpster finger.
Oh yeah, when I slammed my finger in the dumpster, and
was
then every
like
time we drove by that
dumpster.
no, well, mostly it was
Any
just that
dumpster.
specific one because we drove by it every day.
But that's true.
Sure, my dad. You remember that dumpster?
Remember when you lost?
Don't go to the dumpster.
Oh, lost your finger in the dumpster, and then
She was
whenever
a real jerk that way.
whenever you tell her you were taking the garbage, she'd be like, "Oh, Dad, don't get your finger stuck in the dumpster." And she'd howl about
And
it.
it wasn't just like the door of the heavy
a
steel
hinge.
dumpster. It was the hinge on the inside that like sucked my hand in.
Yeah,
I had to go get stitches.
yeah,
Super funny, Belle.
yeah. Oh, she laughed. That was great. I also love.
She did not have a lot of like sympathy. Was not a big like. There's a lot of
Oh.
sympathetic people in this world.
Not Bella. No. And she had every
But
right.
she had every right. She's
Every
like,
right.
ooh, stitches. Check these out.
Yeah, yeah. Want to see my map work of scars?
Yeah.
I think the funniest I loved the most was her impressions of the Bluey characters, the grannies. And it was so cute because she, like, word for word that episode, she'd be like, Janet, or she'd be like,
Spill my beans.
Rita, I spilled my beans. And then
She was the
she
best
would-
for old person day at
old-
school.
Yeah, 100
She
day of
worked
school.
that cane
Yeah.
so well.
We made her a little cane out of cardboard. And she'd get me to draw little wrinkles on her face, and she'd wear a shawl with like a little pin, and she'd have her little cane, cardboard cane. And then at home, she would wear that outfit, and then she would put like a blanket over Waylon and get him to wear like glasses, and like she'd get a can of beans. She'd give it to him, and they'd call each other Rita and Janet. And they'd be like, Janet. And then she'd chuck and roll a can of beans across the floor. Janet, I dropped my beans. And then Waylon would come in with his little pretend cane. It was probably like his water gun or something. And be like, oh, Rita, your beans again. It's just the greatest. It's hilarious. They do that all the time. No. Oh, and then also one time when we made this a TikTok because it was just freaking hilarious, and Bella, like, she knew I turned my phone on like to video it. I was literally doing laundry one day in our bedroom, and so what I would do is I would fold our clothes and I'd fold her clothes, and she'd come into my bedroom and grab her little pile of clothes, and she'd go put it away in the correct like drawer or box or whatever, like her socks or underwear, shirts or pants. And this one time she comes back in to get her next little pile, and she's got her underwear on her head. And she's like, walks into my room, Mom, I got a haircut today. She walks over to my bedroom mirror. She looks at herself, pretends to be surprised. Oh, my hair. What happened to my hair? And she's got like her underwear on her head. She's like, I got to get out of here. And she runs back to her room. And she comes back in with a purple pair of pants on her head. I got my hair dyed at the hair salon today. I'm going to go take a look at my hair. And then she walks up to the mirror. Oh my gosh, it's purple. And she's like, I got to get out of here. And she runs back to her room. And she comes back in again with some sort of t-shirt or her swimsuit on her head. And she does this like 4 or 5 times.
Same thing.
Oh, like she's just so freaking funny. And she just think of it all on her own. Just to make me laugh.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, those are perfect stories.
Yeah.
I promise to bring one to
Bring one-
the table.
bring one to the
I got a
table.
million on my phone written
Yeah.
down, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to think of something original for next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was amazing, honey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad you told me. I'd never heard that story before.
No? Yeah.
No.
I think that's that's a good one. Good one to end on, I think, for this episode. Well,
Yeah.
we have lots more. I'll keep you guys in the loop of what more I want to discuss in future episodes.
Oh, and we got really fun activities. We're going on a ski trip
Oh, yes.
into BC.
We are going.
Can't wait to go.
We had an amazing follower and friend reach out to us and offer her Airbnb in Nelson. And so we are going to take a family trip there and go skiing
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Really excited to get away
So we're
after this week.
Yeah, it'll be a nice family getaway for you and Waylon and I before you go back to work.
Yeah.
After that,
We'll see what happens.
I know what happens.
Well, you're leaving us to go to a trip with your friends. Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, we're not just going on a little trippy trip. We're going to Mexico.
Oh,
Ooh,
pretty-
it's going to be exciting.
pretty standard area.
We're pretty pumped. We're
I don't know
pretty
why you waited till April.
pumped. Teachers, the 3 friends I'm going with are teachers. We have to go during the
Worst
break.
Teachers.
There's a whole story to it, but
double the price to go on their
I
holidays.
I know,
Tell
but
them to take a time.
3 out of the 4 of us that are going have not been on a trip like this in probably 15 years. 10? Like my one friend hasn't been anywhere like this
You're
since
gonna be
her
dying to get
since her
back.
honeymoon.
You're gonna be
Yeah,
sore
I
after the
miss-
first 2 days.
I'm going to miss you too so much.
I didn't mean that, but all right.
I am. But it's exciting. So we'll have lots to tell you guys about our ski trip in BC.
Are we gonna record a pod remotely? You in Mexico, me down here.
You guys. Should we or we could record a pod from our no, we'll record a pod when we
Spit
get
it
back.
out. What are you trying to say?
Blah, 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 today, June. That would be so cool to record a pod from Mexico. I don't know how to do that, but
I think it'd be fun.
that'd be fun.
We'll sort it out
With four little ladies clucking
on location.
on the beach.
You're gonna need more mics.
Beyond Brave isn't brought to you by
Beyond Brave
Mexico.
does Mexico. Oh,
Beyond Brave does Mexico. But then I'm missing you. It'd just be me.
even better.
I had so many more Instagram questions to get to, which we will have to leave for another pod. But trust me, you guys, I wrote them down. And Lyle and I are going to get into these in future episodes. And they include a lot of questions, people inquiring how we've helped Waylon grieve and support siblings of medical kids. And transitioning from home to hospital life and vice versa. And helping a family who's going through these sorts of things. So stay tuned for those conversations in future episodes.
Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight.